A lot of the humor that works comes down to making sure you're not just interacting with one other person. You want to make sure you're talking to all the different teams that are available to you, basically, because it comes down to the person that implements it, the person that makes the level. Making sure that if we're talking about a joke of a thing you can see, making sure that you can actually see the thing because of the way the level is designed. That's really important. So that's what's great about sort of being a writer at Gearbox, is that I'm not just some guy who works for 6 months and then never sees anybody again, or just works off site. I am in a design pit with the creative director and the creative director of the first game, the lead level designer, and all those guys. And we're constantly talking back and forth ideas. And what if we had a gun that itself was humorous or had some element of narrative to it, just the actual properties of the gun and that kind of stuff. A lot of it comes with being just very collaborative and working in that sort of context. And a lot of it also is just focus testing and seeing like, oh, that joke fired too early, we should fix that, or that joke didn't play quite well, let's see if we can tweak that, or have another round of recording and that kind of stuff.
Oh, badass creator, badass attitude!
Yeah, I think I'm more of a funny writer than I am a funny guy. Like I don't have the confidence, I don't have the charm to do stand-up comedy or anything like that. That's what's always amazing to me about stand-up comedians, is that what's cool about writing is that you can be surprising with your comedy and writing, because especially in Borderlands, where a lot of the tone can be dark or can be badass or can be whatever, you can be surprising by suddenly being funny. Stand-up comedians don't have that. They have the context of, I'm going to stand on stage and then I'm going to look at you, and then after about 5 seconds, I'm going to make you laugh. My jokes are going to start now. Like the fact that they work within that context of knowing that the audience is expecting humor and expecting it from a very specific person at a very specific time, the fact that people like Louis C.K. still manage to be the funniest people on the planet is amazing to me. Like I'm super envious of that. So I totally can't do that at all. But if you give me like 2 weeks and allow me to write jokes and pitch them at people until they say, yeah, I guess that's funny, then I will be kind of funny. Like, it's the coward's form of humor, of, bouncing it off a bunch of different people, working with a bunch of different people, and then focus testing it until it gets it right, versus like standing in front of a stage where everybody can shout at you and say you suck. Like, I thankfully, if anybody tells me I suck, they have to go through my Twitter feed, and then I can just block them and I go, ha ha ha, I feel superior. But yeah, I think I'm a better writer than I am a funny person in real life.